Time, not space. No, I don't know what you're talking about.
Hello, and welcome back to I Don't Know What You're Talking About with Erin and Garrett, a podcast between two humans that are married and, just chatting about things that they may have heard of in the last week or two, some things that the other person might not know about, some things not in the middle of their overlapping Venn diagrams. Bringing it back. The Venn diagram.
Bringing it back. Ringing them up.
Yeah, the Venn diagram numbers are tracking very well, so I brought it back.
Your market research is...
Exactly. Those episodes where we talked about the Venn diagram through the roof. How are you doing, Erin?
Good. I feel like the ringing them up reference we should explain.
Yes, totally. I knew exactly what you meant. Do you want to explain or do you want me to explain?
Harris Whittles, who's one of our favorite comedians who passed away like 10 years ago or something.
Yeah, I think it's been a while now. I'll look it up. But yeah, he was great. We loved him. We do love him still.
Yeah. When he used to be on Comedy Bang Bang podcasts.
2015 is when he died, so 10 years ago.
Yeah. Just recommend Comedy Bang Bang podcast with Harris Whittles. Those episodes are so funny. And we have a running joke because there's some episode where they're talking about someone at a grocery store and someone's like, what's that thing called? Like, and then there's a delay and Harris is like, ringing them up. They're like, yeah, thanks, Harris.
I think it was Natasha Leggero was trying to talk about going to the grocery store and was like, so I put my things on the belt and the person was
checked me out
checked me out or did this, but she was kind of like trying to rephrase it. And
yeah,
it was positive. Harris was like ringing them up.
So periodically we just say that. I feel like it fits in a lot of situations.
Yeah. Yeah, Harris was so funny, and he was kind of around our age. Mm-hmm. I think so, yeah. And he was a writer on Parks and Rec, and he was a writer on the Sarah Silverman Show, and, he came up with the term humble brag. Like, he coined that. He wrote a book that I have called Humble Brag. With, it started with a lot of tweets with people being like, oh, it's so weird when I can't get my jet in the right color that I want or something like that.
That's a good one.
Yeah. Weird is a very a telltale sign of a humble brag. People throw that like they want to just be like, I have this awesome thing going on, but it's so weird when this happens about my awesome thing.
Yeah. It's so weird I look so good without makeup.
Yeah, exactly. I was Facebook friends with him, not because I knew him, but just because I, stalked him and added him. And we, at one point, were going to get a dog and name it Harris. And I messaged him and was like, is it okay if we name our dog Harris Whittles? And he was like, I'd be offended if you didn't. Yeah. But I still see posts from his mom and sister.
Yeah.
On the anniversary of his death. It's pretty brutal.
Yeah.
Also, I feel like just a real tragedy that I feel like he was just starting to get so big.
Right. He was early in his career and was so funny.
I mean, he was already really successful with his writing stuff, but I feel like he could have been a big comedic actor.
Yeah. So sad. My chair is very creaky.
Yeah, I've noticed that. Could you stop creaking your chair?
Should I use a different one?
Sure. Swap it out, see what happens. I'm leaving that in. Creak. Speaking of Harris. Oh, it's a different creak, but higher pitched. And not as prolonged.
It's more subtle.
Yeah, agreed. Well, do you want to talk about some of our normal routines we talk about on the podcast? What are we eating? What are we drinking? Who are we watching?
Yeah.
What scent are we wearing?
What are we looking at? Yeah, let's do watching first.
All right.
I was just thinking about how we just watched the Darjeeling Limited Should I not talk about that?
No, you can talk about that. Sorry, my brain had to do a quick check to see if that is a movie that was in the year 2000, but it wasn't.
No. Well, I was thinking about it because it made us talk about our top Wes Anderson movies after we watched it, because that's always been high on my list, which is kind of interesting because I feel like it's a little more on the like, well, it's like kind of understated or something.
Yeah, I think when I think Wes Anderson, I think like Royal Tenenbaums, huge. Grand Budapest Hotel, pretty big as well.
Life Aquatic,
huge. But I always think of Darjeeling Limited as one where whenever I talk about it with people, they're like, "Oh yeah, that one was kind of fun." Like, and I think that people don't love it as much as the rest. Was the vibe I'd gotten.
But I think I really like that it's a little more. There's something like a little more subtle than other Wes Anderson movies.
Yeah, it's almost like in the past like 5 to 10 years, he's gotten so refined with his style that it's like it's. I don't want to use the word obnoxious, but it's just so saturated through every part of it.
Yeah.
You know, when I think like Moonrise Kingdom or.
Mm-hmm.
I love all these movies. Like,
I do too, but they're almost like what's the word? They're like an impression. They're like an impression of a Wes Anderson movie or something.
Right, exactly.
Like they're so
it's
Wes Anderson,
like cliche Wes Anderson.
Yeah, which does not make any sense because he made them.
Right, but I feel like Darjeeling Limited has a lot of heart in it. I really like the relationship stuff between the brothers, and I love the fact that they're on a train in India. Let's get a drink and smoke a cigarette.
Yeah, it's really sweet.
I also think I just have like positive associations with that movie because we were living in Oakland when that movie came out, and our buddy Ian was down visiting us, and we just had a day where we were both doing nothing, and we're like, let's go see the new Wes Anderson movie, which I didn't realize it's like maybe like his 4th movie. It's so pretty early in the Wes Anderson.
Mm-hmm.
And so, yeah, Ian and I took a bus into Berkeley to go to a specific theater that looked cool. And we got there early and had lunch at this Chinese restaurant where we were the only people in the entire restaurant, which worried me because it was lunchtime. And I was like, nobody's eating here. But we had really good, decent Chinese food there. And then we went and watched it. And I thought it was great. So the soundtrack kicks ass.
Yeah, it's really fun. I think I enjoyed it a lot this time. I hadn't like watched it fully in a while, and it was really good.
Yeah, I think it kind of the soundtrack piece put me onto. I searched on Spotify and found all Wes Anderson songs or songs from Wes Anderson movies in one giant playlist. And
Wes Anderson songs.
Yeah, it's good. It's also really funny. I think that and Life Aquatic are so hilarious.
Yeah.
I guess a lot of his movies are funny. Except for Asteroid City. That one seemed very, like, artsy.
It's funny that the train gets lost in Darjeeling Limited.
How can it get lost? It's on rails.
What else are we watching?
I just want to say one last thing. That I think that might be my favorite Owen Wilson performance.
I don't know.
I think he's pretty good in that.
I'm good with anything he said.
Yeah, I know. Joking. Do you like the bent nose? Is that does that do it for you?
I just like his whole vibe.
Okay. What about Luke Wilson? No?
Sure, but Owen more.
Sure. Yeah. Yeah, they're great.
Yeah.
I'm also attracted to them.
What else are we watching? I feel like we're kind of been in between things. Because we finished The Pit. We finished Last of Us. We finished...
Yeah, a little in between on shows. I guess we were trying to watch the rest of Righteous Gemstones.
Mm-hmm.
Hit a little lull in that season where it felt...
I mean, there was a little bit that really wasn't very good.
Yeah. I hate to say it because I love Danny McBride. I love John Goodman. I love every actor in that.
Yeah.
I should really know that sister's name. She's so funny. But yeah, it felt like the writing dipped. Like it almost wasn't even about them being mega church Christian people anymore. It almost seemed like a sitcom episode or something. Like, oh no, our dad's dating somebody we don't like.
Eddie Patterson is her name in real life. Edie.
Yeah, Edie Patterson.
Edie Patterson.
Yeah, she's great.
Judy Gemstone. But can't think of what else we're watching.
Yeah, no shows come to mind, which is fine. It's summer. Like, all the shows can wait till winter. I'm in summer mode, Erin.
Summer mode. What are we eating?
Tonight, we had a fun little dinner of like linguine, and then I fried up some shrimp and put tomatoes and white beans all in the pan with it. Got them all blistered up and fun. And then Erin made like a really good vegan pesto.
Yeah, like a cashew, arugula, basil pesto.
I don't know why pastas like fresh pastas like that hit so much better in the summer.
Mm-hmm. And then heirloom tomato basil salad.
Oh yeah, delicious.
Yeah, and your white beans made like a creamy sauce on the noodles. It was so good.
Oh, I did add a spoonful of like Miyoko's butter, plant-based butter, to kind of gel it up.
It was really good.
Yeah.
Drinking, doing, reading.
Well, you're reading a book for your book club, right?
Yeah, I'm reading The Seven Husbands of Evelyn Hugo.
How'd you hear about it? Or we talked about this already?
Maybe. I'm not sure. You heard about it on a podcast and heard that it was someone's favorite book. And so you spontaneously ordered it for me, which was really sweet.
Yeah, really trying to do spontaneous sweet.
Well, it worked.
I would like to read it. Are you enjoying it?
I am. I think my book club's enjoying it.
It's great.
Yeah. I just went to a birthday party for a woman I know who was turning 50, and her whole book club was there. And it was their 18-year anniversary of their book club.
Whoa.
Yeah. So
How
I'm
many
excited
books?
about that.
How many books did they read in 18 years?
That's a good question.
Like 5?
Yeah, our book club meets every 2 or 3 months.
How many books? Well, how long has your book club been going? Like
That's a good question.
4 years, maybe?
Yeah, I think so.
Something like that.
Mm-hmm.
And how many you guys have run through? I can think of 10 off the bat.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, 10 to 15 probably.
So those 18-year ladies,
Mm-hmm.
assuming they're voracious readers like you guys, they must be up to like, I don't know, 40?
Yeah, I feel like 18 times 4 probably is a good guess on average. Like maybe 4 to 5 on average a year.
I don't do math in the summer,
Okay.
unless I'm paid.
I think that's 72 to...
This podcast will not go a second further.
72 to 90
Oh,
is my range,
okay.
I'm guessing.
All right. Well, you should ask next time.
I will.
I'm assuming they keep a catalog, and they know this number offhand.
We have an Excel spreadsheet now, so...
I don't doubt it.
What have you been drinking? Sweet lime.
Another Darjeeling callback. Let's try to keep that going throughout the episode.
Okay.
Well, tonight we're drinking some wine that was discounted at New Seasons because of a torn label, and I don't think they're carrying it anymore, but it's like a cloudy Italian white that I took a little gamble on, and I think it's really good.
It has the orange wine flavor I like that's like a little bit funky.
Yeah, definitely a funk to it.
Yeah.
It's not sweet.
But
by
it
any means.
reminds me of when skin contact wine like came out or whatever, became popular. And those first times we had it at some of those like wine bars, and I feel like this is the flavor that I associate with orange wines.
Mm. Yeah, man. Skin contact. I feel like I don't even hear that term anymore. Like, is natural wine skin contact kind of like dying out?
I feel like
Certainly
there's
not.
still a lot of wine bars. I feel like it's more like built into just normal wine culture now.
Right.
It was like so called out for a little while. Do you remember we went to Sweetie D's once
Oh, yeah.
at night, but it was a wine bar at night.
Yeah, what was the name of it? It was like
So like
fish and cracker.
Oh, I think like sardine head.
There it is.
Yeah. Fish and cracker. Yeah, I remember having wine there that was like it was like grown on volcano rocks or something on,
No, it wasn't.
but it was just so
Was it like a
hip
funky-
natural wine, and it was so like mushroomy, earthy, funky. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, I love that so many people got into natural wine all of a sudden. And then you're like, what exactly makes natural wine natural? And they're like, it's not, there's no sulfites, I think.
Yeah. It's kind of like punk rock. Like you'll know it when you know it. That's what that one wine guy told us at World Foods.
Oh, yeah.
Or World Foods.
Yeah, not World Market.
Yeah, I always call those the wrong things. Very different.
Yeah. But shout out to World Foods. Great deli, great wine selection.
Mm-hmm.
What are we drinking?
I do too.
Oh, sorry. We'll just do the whole podcast about beverages. You go first.
I also just had some Vino Verde on the river shore this weekend, camping. We were at a beautiful camp spot in southern Oregon, eastern, central Oregon. Wait, I didn't mean eastern. Southern, western.
I think you can
Central.
say southwestern.
Okay, but it's a little more central than that.
Downstate Oregon.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Wait, we had that joke during camping because we're...
Oh, really? Somebody said downstate?
No, you and I, right? Like there was something about living in upstate Oregon or something. Mm-hmm. I was like, Portland?
Upstate Oregon.
Yeah, but I had some Vino Verde on the river bank, and it was like hot out. It was like warm at the time, and sitting in the sun.
The wine was?
No, me. Oh. Sitting in the sun, and
you were warm? Like a fever? You mean the temperature was warm, right?
Yeah, it was beautiful out, and I was sitting on this river, and it was warm outside, and I got wine delivered to me in a cooler, and like a glass and wine delivered to me, and it was like pretty dreamy.
That's pretty special.
Yeah. Shout out to our friend Corin for sharing her wine, and our friend Zoe for delivering it beachfront. She was like a beach
angel.
No, like a what did she call herself? Like a peanut saleswoman or something.
Oh, wait, yeah.
Like a
somebody on the stands of a football game.
Yeah, because she had like the soft cooler, like she was around her, with the crossbody soft cooler. Crossbody soft cooler.
Yeah, the second you said Vino Verde, I thought Jenny would be involved. So I was surprised because our friend Jenny loves Vino Verde. Yeah,
Jenny was nearby, but not involved in this specific situation. But it was like cold and slightly like fizzy almost, and yeah, it appeared like magic.
Nice. I love unexpected alcohol. That's always a fun thing in life.
Yeah.
When you're like, oh, I didn't know it. Prosecco out of the basket. I guess I could have a little.
Yeah, that's nice.
Also, I feel like this happened to me a couple times, but like on river floats, like I'll just, not drinking, but floating the river, and then I'll just find like an unopened beer floating along in the river.
Oh, you have another drinking one?
Well, it's not a current drinking thing, but recently, because it's kind of berry season, our daughter and I were discussing blackberries, and it reminded me of that road trip that you and I took, where we picked a bunch of fresh blackberries, and then we were just talking in the car, and we're like, man, it'd be great if we could just blend these into a milkshake right now. And so we Googled where the next Burgerville would be on our route, and we called them and said, hey, if we bring in our own blackberries, will you blend them up into a milkshake? like into a vanilla milkshake, and
And they said, no problem.
yeah, we were shocked. Like, well, okay. Then so we went in, but we'd only talked to somebody on the phone. We had no idea. They didn't tell us her name or anything. And so we were scoping the people, being like, who would say yes to this? And we saw like long-haired stoner kid, and we're like, oh, that dude definitely like is gonna break the rules, because that's got to be illegal, right?
For sure, some food safety rule. You can't take an ingredient from a customer. And, yeah.
It's not like I can just bring popcorn shrimp in there and be like, throw this in a smoothie.
I thought you were going to say throw this in the fryer for sure, not a smoothie.
But we went up and talked to that long-haired stoner kid, and he was like, I have no idea what you're talking about, but let me get my manager. And we were like, oh, shit, the manager. And then the manager came over, and it was this, like, middle-aged dude, Steve or whatever. And we were like, oh, yeah, we talked to somebody about blending berries. And he was like, oh, yeah, that was me. Yeah, I'll do it. You have them? Give them to me. I was like, oh, sweet. And it was a delicious blackberry smoothie.
It was perfect. And it was like on an anniversary trip we were taking. And so it was so special. I just remember it being like magical that happened.
Yeah.
After picking berries, that they blended them into a fresh milkshake.
Yeah.
It was on our way to Seattle.
Which, listeners, if you can get together with somebody in the summer so your anniversary is in the summer, highly recommend.
Yeah.
So many fun things you can do.
Yeah. 4th of July.
Yeah. It's coming
It's our
up.
anniversary.
One of them. It's funny. Our daughter asked me recently when our anniversary is. And I said, well, our wedding anniversary is September 13th. But, we have another anniversary on July 4th. And she was like, what is that for? And I was like, it's like when, your mom and I started liking each other, getting together. It was hard to put it to a 7-year-old because she was like, what happened then? And then she kind of discounted it. She was like, no, your anniversary is your wedding. That's what I was asking about.
Well, and you were like, it was when we started liking each other. And she was like, what about loving each other?
Right.
Yeah.
I'm like, yeah, sure. It's when we first said I love you to each other. But yeah, summerversaries.
Okay. Lots of good drink recs. Blackberry milkshakes. Riverfront wine.
No. See if I have a listening to. But yeah, our buddy Sam, who's a big music guy, sent me this album that's a remix album of Air's Moon Safari, which I should look up when that came out, but I used to listen to Air a lot back in the day, and I haven't listened to Moon Safari in at least 15 years. And it's a really good remix album by this group called VEGYN. Which, how do you think you pronounce that, Erin?
Vegin.
Vegin? That's one thing that I think it might be.
Vagine.
I also think it might be vagine.
I don't know.
I don't know either. I don't know the answers. But yeah, it's a really good remix album where they remix the whole album of Moon Safari.
That's fun.
It's called Blue Moon Safari. So I'm going to recommend that.
Okay, do we have any other
Housekeeping?
or should we move to our topics?
Well, it's customary for us to play a game of rock, paper, scissors to see who decides who goes first with their topics that we brought to the kitchen table tonight.
Except now I feel like you're using all of your tricks on me that you learned.
Did you Google rock, paper, scissors theory in between and now in our last episode?
No, I should have. Next time.
Wait, now I have to remember what it is.
No,
Okay.
Suspicious.
But you know how rock, paper, scissors goes. Like,
Yeah. I don't know the tricks.
I'm just saying that no matter what tricks and what you think the other person's going to throw, that it can always go the other direction. And you're like, oh, shit.
Right, but I have this sensation when I'm playing rock, paper, scissors that there's this deep gut instinct that I'm following that I just have to let take me away.
Okay. I like that.
So I'm just like living in that belief space.
Poetic. That's like a metaphor for life.
Yeah. Just gotta let go.
Don't swim upstream and think too much about it. Just go with it.
Go with it. Do the scissors.
Oh, you trying to get in my head?
Do the scissors.
Are you telling me to do the scissors, or you saying that you're going to do scissors?
Oh, this is a great strategy.
I don't like this. This wasn't part of what I researched. Actually, I think I have heard that on a podcast where they were going to do rock, paper, scissors. It's like, I'm going to throw a rock. And they're like,
Definitely messes with people.
oh, yeah.
It's kind of mean.
It's very mean. When you just did it to me.
I wasn't really trying to do that to you. I was describing the experience of my gut instinct speaking to me.
And scissors was just a random example you chose.
Yep. Completely random.
All right. Well, boom, boom, shoot.
Yep.
Ooh, my paper covered Erin's rock. Ooh, rock. Ooh, my paper covered Erin's rock for a second time. That was fun. I think I'm going to go first tonight because I think mine's a little bit shorter.
Okay.
Okay. So, I am on summer break right now, as you know.
Fact, yes.
Love it. True. Favorite time of year, favorite season. Although it's probably because I associate it with not working. And I am home with my daughter for a lot of this summer. And so we've talked about doing like a theme with each week with little things that we do each day that relate to like, animals or international foods or things like that. But in addition,
That's the one I came up with that I'm excited about.
international foods?
Yeah.
I am excited about all the food-based ones.
Yeah.
Because it means we get to go out to fun lunch all the time.
Yeah, and it seems fun to expose our daughter to some different foods and
Totally.
I feel like then it's like a connection to different cultures and
Yeah, and also
fun pathway.
we could cook fun stuff at home and just choose a random recipe or not random, but like a popular recipe from other cultures
You guys could take a cooking class.
together. We could. I guess she is old enough that she could do a cooking class.
Yeah, it'd be really cute.
Yeah. At any rate, in addition to this summer checklist of themes each week, I decided, because she and I like playing video games together, that we should have a summer game. And so I bought a game today. Not a full release game, like kind of an indie game sort of thing. It was $25. And it's called Animal Well. And so I tried to get her to play an hour of it without me and then have her teach me what she learned from the game. Because I think it's just from what I've heard, it's like a very puzzly, like you figure things out as you go. It doesn't lead you sort of thing. But she wasn't into that. So I ended up playing while she watched. And a little background on this game is, that YouTuber Donkey?
Yeah.
Love him.
Yeah.
Like, his
Same.
videos are hilarious. I love his reviews of video games. I also agree with a lot of his opinions on video games. So if like a new hot game is out, I'll kind of wait for the Donkey video to see what he thinks of it and things like that. Also, Googled his net worth earlier, and as of a year ago, he was worth over $5 million.
Wow.
Which I guess kind of tracks because his videos, each of them get at least 7-8 million views each time. Like, so popular. But a couple of years ago, he started his own video game company to put out games. And their first release is this game called Animal Well that came out, I think, earlier this year or last year. Maybe right around December. And it's this really cool indie side-scroller 2D game that looks very 8-bit. It's like a NES style, Nintendo Entertainment System. Actually, upon first playing, it reminded me a lot of Metroid, which I don't know if you ever played Metroid back in the day.
Yeah, I mean, I've played it. I know what it is, but I didn't play it.
Play it?
I've played it. I didn't play it.
Okay.
Does that make sense?
So you're around it. Okay. I played a lot of that game as a kid, and it's very having to go back and forth between areas and get this sort of upgrade so you can open this door to get to this area. And it's all, 8-bit graphics and side scrolly, and there's little secrets and stuff like that. So I got a lot of vibes like that from this game. but it's all animal themed. Like there's a lot of, like a squirrel, like will run across and you have to kind of follow it and figure things out. But it's also very puzzly. And it's definitely starting to scratch a lot of itches in my brain of like, ooh, this area, I can't get up to this ledge, but I bet later on, if I get
that's
some
fun.
sort of power up, I can come back to that ledge.
Is it like puzzly, or is it just that you have to get certain things to...
You have to get certain things. Like I found, spoiler alert, I found like a bubble wand at one point where like you can blow a bubble and like jump onto it and then like get up to higher places. But you're this little blob, like a little blob that just jumps around and interacts with things. I should show it to you. It's really fun. And I did know a little bit about this game because I had watched a video on it on Donkey's YouTube channel. And it was all made by one dude. His name is Billy Basso.
Like not through a company of
Yeah, it was just
designers
this
and...
dude that programs, and he spent like 8 years working on this game and coming up with fun mechanics that would like make fun puzzles within the game. And yeah, and so I think at some sort of convention, like Donkey somehow came across it and was like, this looks really fun, like somebody should put it out.
That's cool.
Yeah. So I only spent like an hour playing it today, but I'm trying to get it going as the game of the summer. But I don't know if it's grabbing our daughter. Maybe there's more like some like adult ways that it scratches my brain, like the puzzle aspects and the like. There's definitely some precision parts of it too. Like you have to jump across little things that are pretty precise, kind of Mario style.
That's too bad because I feel like there's certain games that she's been so into. So you want to like tap into one of those for the summer for it to be really fun for you both.
I know, I gotta find one.
Like Astrobot.
I think this is close. She was like, actually, like she was doing pretty good being like, oh, I bet that means this. Like, she's definitely got like a puzzly brain.
Oh yeah, definitely. That's fun. What did you say it's called?
Animal Well?
Animal Well.
Yeah, I should show it to you.
And it's the GOTS potentially.
Yeah, it's the GOTS.
The GOTS.
Yeah. I really like the there's no text, there's no explanation. Oh, when you find things, there is text. Like I found a firecracker at one point and it was like,
And it said firecracker.
Yeah. But it's really just kind of a mystery about how things even work. And I'm resisting the urge to Google things when they happen and just really try to experience it like it's supposed to be designed. Because I've gotten to certain areas and I'm like, well, I can't figure out what's going on. And the urge is just grab my phone and like, how do I get out of this part? And
don't do it.
I'm trying not to do it.
Just ask AI to play the whole game for you.
Yeah, I could just watch a playthrough on YouTube.
I bet you could literally ask AI, can you explain every level of this game to me and what I'm supposed to do?
Oh, yeah.
That's wild.
That'd be easy for them. I'm sure it's out there already.
Yeah.
Yeah. Anyway, I'll have more to report after I play it more because, like I said, I only played like an hour today.
Yeah. Fun.
Yeah.
I'm excited to see it. Is it like Animal Well, like water well, or like I'm well?
There is a lot of water in the game, so I could see that being... I don't think I'm far enough to answer that question.
Okay.
But it's a very drippy game.
Like fashiony?
No. You think I'm just using that word in conversation naturally? It's super drippy, honey. No, I mean like water. Like there's water dripping everywhere.
Yeah.
All right, that's all I got, honey. And more to report later. Like I said, I got a short topic tonight.
Good. Perfect. That's what we're trying to do.
Yeah, exactly.
Natural. Building it into our life.
Yeah. No pressure. I'm not reading off of an IMDb page.
Like some loser.
Yeah, who would do that? Certainly not all over that episode that we deleted. Your move, Erin.
Okay. My turn?
Yes, please.
So my topic is out of date for by about a week. So not as
No.
topical as it could
Be
be.
more current, please.
But last week so there was one, I'm not even on TikTok, but I was aware of this TikTok debate
How did you hear about it? If you're not on TikTok,
through a podcast.
okay.
Or I saw the TikTok from somewhere, and then I also heard about the different sides of the debate on a podcast.
Okay. Why are you not on TikTok?
I don't know. I've never really gotten into it.
Not enough time.
Not enough time.
I feel like that's what everybody says when they're like, I can't even put that on my phone because I will get nothing done. And I'm like, really? Like, I have it on my phone and I don't compulsively check it.
Yeah. I mean,
Although I do compulsively check Instagram.
right. It's just maybe not built into our life in the same way. Yeah. And it could be. So this guy, Reed McCrae,
Reed McCrae?
that's his name,
All right.
on TikTok, he did like the green screen thing with the text thread behind him, and posted a conversation with a woman that he was trying to go out on a date with.
Okay.
And so there was a huge debate about who was in the wrong, basically, about the scheduling, like, conflict between them, basically. Did you see this?
No, but it's so funny because I was just reading who was in the wrong thing, or was I in the wrong? And I had to acronym bust a W-I... wait, it was something, but it was like, was I in the wrong?
Was I in the wrong? Oh.
Yeah. And I think there's like a whole Reddit thread of this, like people posting their experiences and being like, am I the asshole? No, that's what it was. It was the acronym.
Am I the asshole?
Am I the asshole?
Yeah. I think our friend Ellie reads those columns and
Okay.
Reddits and stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Sorry, continue.
Hi, Ellie. So his post is funny because he definitely posted it expecting that everybody was going to be like, yeah, she's crazy.
Right, on his side.
Yeah.
Yeah, why else would you post something like that?
And instead, the comments are like, no, that's on you. Like, and it's like 3,000 women. Seriously, 3,000.
Wow.
Commenting and being like, wait, what? Like, you know, telling him basically what he did wrong and why he did it. And so,
What did he do? Can you walk me through the...
yeah, I'm going to walk you through the text, and I'm curious your perspective.
Okay.
And I just saw today that he posted a second, because I looked on his thing to find this for this episode.
Oh.
He posted a follow-up video basically like acknowledging that maybe he was in, maybe.
Because 3,000 people yelled
Yeah.
at him.
Yes. And the funny thing about the second video is that he says,
Oh my God, that is the most like classic dude thing ever, to be like, post something and be like, look at this bitch.
Yeah.
And like 3,000 people being like, no, you're actually kind of an asshole. And then to post and be like, there may be a small chance that I was wrong.
and also it's funny that he's acknowledging that he doesn't acknowledge when he's made a mistake. Like he's like, I've never done this, but it's so funny. There's so many funny comments from women being like, it is fascinating to see inside like an average white man's brain. Like,
You know what? He's pretty brave for posting these things.
okay. So he was shopping with a friend, and he met this woman. She was working there at a store at Lululemon, I think.
So he was shopping with a friend at Lululemon.
Yes. And his friend was trying on things, and he started chatting with a woman that worked there and liked her, and then asked for her number, and she gave it to him. So that's how it started.
Nice.
Yeah. And so then I guess they have some back and forth texts. They try to go out, doesn't work out. And so then we get to the scheduling issue. So he says, hey, so I'm going to be out of town this weekend, but I'm free tomorrow or Thursday. Would either of those work for you?
Okay.
He says that.
Tomorrow or Thursday?
Yeah.
So I'm assuming that's like a Wednesday, Thursday? Because he was like gone for the weekend.
Yeah, I think so. She says, hey, exclamation point. Let's do something Thursday, exclamation point. I get off around 5. Exclamation point.
Wow.
3 in 1 text.
She really likes him.
She likes him, is what he thinks. I mean, he describes. There was a lot of exclamation points.
Spoiler. Oh no, am I the classic male dude?
So that is on Tuesday at 8:40 p.m.
Oh, it was the Wednesday, Thursday.
Yeah. So Tuesday at 8:40 p.m. she says, "Hey, let's do something Thursday."
5 p.m.
I get off around 5 p.m.
And she is really into him at this point.
So at 6:20 a.m. the next morning, he says he works early in his follow-up message is why he texts so early.
I don't care. That's a wild time to text somebody.
Very wild. He says, "Okay, cool. I'll text you Tomo, not even tomorrow. Tomo with plans."
Okay, so 6:20 Wednesday. He says, "I'll text you tomorrow." That's Thursday.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
With plans.
Okay. I'm starting to see why. It's a little problematic.
It's good. Okay. So then we get then we get to Thursday.
Did she respond to that? Okay.
She didn't.
Okay.
We get to Thursday and he says at 12:52
PM?
Yes.
Or AM?
p.m.
So lunchtime.
So hours before this date.
Oh my God.
He says, "I'm thinking dinner and arcade if that's chill." Hey, I was thinking dinner and maybe arcade if that's chill. So that's at almost 1:00. So at 4:37 p.m., she says, "I'm so sorry. I didn't hear from you yesterday, so I thought maybe you decided you didn't want to go. So at work today, I made plans with some coworkers to go to a sound bath. I'm so sorry. I would have texted earlier, but I just got off work."
I mean, that's legit. That if you have a busy job, somebody texts.
And it's in retail.
Oh, yeah. She works at Lululemon.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You might not be able to look at your phone.
Yeah. It's probably pretty frowned upon.
Yeah. So, like, he's texting her at middle of the day about plans right after that work.
So she started her shift being like, never heard anything. Although he did say, "I'm going to text you tomorrow."
Mm-hmm. Yeah. So, I mean, you're where I was when I first read it. A lot of very funny comments like, "Why didn't you just let her know the plans on Wednesday? Did it take you 30 hours to come up with dinner and arcade?" And so many people like, you didn't even pick the locations, like
I know.
dinner and arcade.
Tell her where.
Yeah. These plans were supposed to be at 5, but they weren't communicated until 1 that day. Yeah, no.
I don't know what happens next, but I like picturing possibly him with his group of friends and workshopping all the dates they could go on. No, take her on a hike here, like blah, blah, blah. Like, yeah, just like all the different things they could do. And they're
Yeah.
like, well, maybe you should just do dinner and arcade. That seems pretty chill.
He's like, "Okay, I'll send that." It took him 30 hours to have that conversation with his friends.
For 30 hours.
Yeah. I'm just reading the comments. "Why didn't you send her a plan that first night? Also, don't be chill. This is a date. Like, you're courting her. Just, like, be normal. You waited till day of just to say dinner and arcade?"
No, day of is wild.
"Too late in the day, man. Past noon, we already made plans and assumed you're not serious." If somebody texts were this spaced out to me, I would definitely assume they weren't that interested either.
Yeah, what was he doing that whole day? He was working, is what he said?
Yeah, but, I mean, he worked at 6:30, so what time did he get off work?
Yeah, definitely
And then next morning before work, like,
in the evening should have.
yeah.
That's weird.
It's weird to also be like, "I'll text you tomorrow with the plans." Like,
That's what brings me back to the workshop scenario. Him and his boys were scribbling on legal pads and trying to figure it out.
Yeah.
But that's me giving him the Benny of the doubt. Mm-hmm. So did he posted it there?
What do you mean?
The conversation stopped there, and he posted pictures being like,
Yeah.
isn't she a bitch because she canceled on me?
Yeah, he thinks like she's gaslighting him, and like by being like, I thought you didn't want to go. He's like, what? Like, and when she's like, I didn't hear from you yesterday. He's like, you did hear from me yesterday at 6:30 a.m. So he's like,
yeah, I kind of see, like, if I'm being a judge in this case and trying to be impartial,
yeah,
he did communicate on Wednesday that he would talk to her on Thursday, and she didn't say anything. Like, she probably should have been like,
thumbs up or something.
or even like, hey, if you can let me know, like, tonight what plans you're kind of thinking of so I can make
Yeah,
this,
I
that, or
agree.
the other. I mean, he did do I feel like I run into this with dudes all the time where they follow exactly, they do exactly what they said they were going to do, even though it was a dumb plan that they came up
In the
with.
first place. Yeah.
So they're not wrong, they're just dumb.
Yeah. That's a good way to describe this situation. Like he
Right.
was like, oh, I told her I'd text tomorrow, so I'm going to like do that.
There's just
Even though
no
it doesn't make sense.
no street sense here. Like, have you ever met somebody who's like waiting to go out on a date? Like,
Right. She needs to know what she's doing after work at 5
yeah.
by before lunchtime that day. Yeah.
Do you think she actually made plans with friends, or she just wanted to stick it to him?
I don't know. I listened to the Tinks podcast and she talks about this and she's fully like he's in the wrong. Like all of it. The casual vibe of his texts. She's like just right off the bat be like, "Hey, I want to take you to this restaurant. How's 7 p.m. on Thursday?" You know, just say it. Like it doesn't need to be
Right.
yeah. What did you ask?
I forget, but I'm kind of picturing that she didn't like that he said, I'll text you tomorrow.
Yeah, because I think that's why she didn't acknowledge the text.
Right. She was like, fuck you.
Yeah.
Like, and so I think she kind of maybe purposely made plans with friends.
Because she was annoyed by the way he was going about it.
Right.
So she wanted to make a point. Yes, sorry. That's what Tinks feels like they purposefully is kind of like teaching him a lesson, like in the way she writes that message.
For sure.
Yeah.
But yeah, also, I like, why, unless you are truly coming up with ideas for 30 hours about what to do with her, like, it doesn't show that you're, like, excited.
No. Yeah. But I think it's funny that then the next day he does acknowledge that he maybe was mistaken. But then he tries to like all kinds of, one of his justifications is that when he talked to her in Lululemon, she told him that she's very spontaneous and likes to just like go with the flow with friends. So that was like something that was in his mind about their plans.
It was like, I'll keep the plans secret
Yeah,
until
loose.
spontaneous.
Yeah.
Spontaneously came up with dinner in an arcade.
That's the funniest part of the second message to me, that he thinks that justifies like the way he texted.
Yeah, the chill part also is not helping anything. No. Because it seems like you're not thinking about it that much.
Yeah, this comment is because he says she was super chill. She was super chill and seems to go with the flow. Translation: I don't think I had to put in more effort.
Right.
That's what it sounds like. Yeah.
How old are these people?
He looks early 30s.
Okay.
Maybe, yeah, late 20s, early 30s. Yeah, this girl says, hot tip, don't say, I'm going to do something unprecedented here. I'm going to acknowledge I made a mistake out loud ever again, LMAO.
Unprecedented is hilarious. It's the first mistake he's ever made, Erin.
Yeah. So it's not the acknowledgement that's the unprecedented part. It's that he's never made a mistake.
Exactly. Really, I think he thinks that his mistake was posting it on the internet.
Yeah. Yes.
Are you following him now?
No, I should. Yeah, this quote is, "Let me acknowledge that I'm wrong," and then doubles down on why he's the victim, which is exactly what the second video. It's all the like, the misstate beforehand and
It's
all
like
the
the
pre.
classic apology of like, I'm sorry if your feelings got hurt.
Yeah.
Classic bad apology, I should say. A non-apology. So is there no like closure on this situation? Like we don't know if they ever went out or...
Yeah, we don't. And I just listened to the Tink's conversation about this, and she's like begging the woman to come on her podcast to talk about her side of it. But I'll keep track in case there's closure. We hear anything from her.
Should we have him on?
Yeah.
Tell his third side of the story. That's funny. You should shout out his Instagram handle if listeners want to check in on the combo.
This person says, "Are you 17?"
That's why I asked. I was like,
Yeah.
like this sounds like if he was like a 22 or something, I'd be a little bit more like, Aaron's showing me his video right now. The backwards hat, buddy. He definitely looks old enough to know better.
Yes.
Yeah.
And doesn't he look late 20s, early 30s?
I think, gosh, even mid 30s.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah, he got 2,500 comments on his second video, too.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
The one where he says it's unprecedented that he apologizes.
There's so many funny comments. Honestly, sounds like she dodged a bullet. I unmatch every single man who says, "We should hang out tomorrow," without picking what to do.
Should hang out.
Unfortunately, your added context only makes things so much worse.
Well, if there's any young male listeners out there, what you should take away is that you should have like a solid plan and have it days ahead of time so people can plan.
Yeah.
Which makes sense. I feel like this isn't even like a boys are like this, girls are like this. Like everybody's like that. Like I'd be annoyed too if somebody's like, "Oh yeah, I'll text you day of."
Yeah, it's so weird.
Yeah, I'd be like,
Just
"No."
say what the plan is. Yeah.
After looking at his face, I don't think he was workshopping things with the boys because he was so over the moon about this lady.
Oh, you don't think so?
I don't think so.
Interesting.
Well, you think his face says that?
No, I'm curious what about his face doesn't say that.
I think the backwards hat in a video made it a little bit like...
He's just like going on his own random journey.
Yeah, exactly. Backwards hat dudes definitely care more about bro than they care about other people.
Yeah.
He was probably too busy playing Call of Duty.
I wonder where he works, that he works at 6:30 a.m.
We should figure it out. Have you looked at this on Reddit?
No. That's a good idea.
Is it?
I'll find out and report back.
Yeah, I would love some closure on this. We could do a follow-up episode where I talk about my experience with Animal Well and your deep stalker dive on both these people. We have no idea who she is, right?
No, I don't think, I haven't seen any comments that imply that she's responded at all. Maybe she doesn't even know.
Oh, she might not even know this is blowing up.
Yeah, if she's going to sound baths, like, maybe she's unaware.
Sound bath, Lululemon. I don't know. That could go either way.
It could go either way. Yeah. It's not in the middle, though. It's one or the other.
For sure.
Yeah.
Yeah, she either like doesn't use social media at all, or she's definitely like posting stories from that sound bath.
Yeah. A sound bath influencer, or...
And is it sound bath just like an ambient show?
Or like a meditation kind of practice with different, they do like metal bowls and different, like, yeah. maybe connected to meditation or yoga
Do you remember when I had that?
practices.
Do you remember when I had that idea to do like these machines that when it rains, like it makes certain sounds, like it'll fill up certain parts that hit
Yeah.
something, like hit chimes or drums or things like that.
That'd be fun. We should do that.
I know, I kind of want to do it at some point.
Yeah.
There's time and money.
I think we could do it.
Could be a summer project.
Yeah.
Learn to weld.
We have a friend that welds.
Yes, we do.
Maybe he can help.
I think he could. He loves helping with things too. Shout out to Albert.
Yeah. Helping and welding.
One day at a time.
All right. That's my topic.
All right, it was a good one. That's intriguing. Whose side are you on?
Hers. For sure. I mean, I think if it were me, I would have responded to the text being like, hey, like, do you know what you're thinking for plans tomorrow? But I think it's hard to know because maybe it just seemed like a red flag to her the way he was texting. So she wasn't like invested in pushing, like pushing for the plans. She was like, whatever, this is
Right.
annoying.
She wasn't like, okay, I'm going to communicate openly and honestly and clearly because I really care about it.
Right, exactly. So like him saying, I didn't hear, or she did hear from me or whatever. Like, yeah, that's true. She says she didn't hear from you when she did on that day, but he didn't send her anything helpful or specific.
Right. Yeah. I'm going to start texting you like this. Be like, hey, date on Friday? I'll text you day of.
Yeah.
And then I'll be like, movie and sushi, question mark?
I've been thinking for 2 days. That's what I came up with.
What do you think? Chill? Chill or not?
Yeah.
But movie and sushi, pretty good date idea, right?
It is. Let's do it.
All right, she's it.
Mostly I love these things for all the comments and the arguments that people get in. And I love that like 90% of the comments are women being like, no, you were wrong.
Oh, there's no dudes in there being like,
There's probably a few, but I think actually most of the men commenting that I saw were also like, no, you were wrong.
I just am trying to picture like a first date scenario. Like it's been so long since I've been in that mindset. Like I think I would be much more of an overthinker and like over preparer.
Not just like, yeah.
Also, you could include that in that text that happened Wednesday morning at 6:20. Jesus Christ, being like, I'm not sure on details yet, but I'm thinking like dinner and something else.
Yeah, actually, I mean, I think the dinner and arcade, if that's what he wants to do or whatever, should have gone in that Wednesday text. And then
Yeah.
I'll text you tomorrow with specifics. Then you can say what restaurant or whatever.
Right.
Even then, though, like, what if the restaurant isn't near her and she has to get there at a certain time? And,
Yeah, that
like,
was wild.
yeah, is she going back to her apartment between, or is she going straight from work? Like, there's just so many.
So you think she's in an apartment
I don't know.
you don't think she owns? It's pretty judgy.
I was going to say house, but then I was picturing her in a more like urban area. Like she leaves Lululemon and goes down to her apartment.
I will give it to you that Lululemon seems like more of an urban apartment vibe.
Yeah.
Although a lot of like rich moms wear like Lululemon all the time, right?
Sure. But she works there. She doesn't,
And she doesn't have kids that we know of.
she might.
Shit. Man. See, now I'm stereotyping.
She lives in a house with kids in the suburbs. And she needs to
She's
know
married.
which car she's taking.
She's having an affair and she's pissed off at this
Yeah.
dude who won't make affair plans.
Exactly. It makes it very hard for the affair plans.
That's a pretty logical thing that she's like can't plan around this this tryst.
Yeah. That's funny on that same Tinks podcast that I listened to. she said that she met a guy in a bar, and first of all, he was 25. She's like,
Tinks?
yeah,
She's like
mid-30s.
Early 30s?
Yeah, early mid-30s. So already he was like young, but she said she was interested, and he said, okay, follow me on Instagram. And she was like, no, you can take my number if you want to go on a date. And so he hesitantly pulled out his phone and kept it close to his body as he brought it up to him. So she looked over it, and it was his girlfriend as his background on the phone.
What?
Yeah.
Is that the shady guy move? Is like, follow me on Instagram? So there's no like text about it? Is it easier to hide things?
Maybe, but I think it also was that he didn't have to get out his phone.
Oh, I
He
see.
could just tell her instead of taking her number.
Oh. But couldn't he be like, hey, here's my number?
I guess so, but she said, you could take my number and reach out if you want. So she like forced him to take out his phone, basically.
Oh.
Yeah. And then he tried to say it was his sister. And she said it was a black and white photo of a girl in booty shorts hugging her dog. She was like, really? That's your sister?
Oh my God, can you imagine if I had one of my sisters, any picture of one of my sisters in my phone background? I love my sisters, don't get me wrong, but that is crazy.
It's so funny.
Yeah, it's like, just follow me on Instagram. Like, even if that was like a legit guy, it's such a weird move. Like, it's funny that like phone numbers seem more personal, even though it's all just
The
little
same.
messages that pop up on phones.
Yeah.
It's funny how I've kind of slipped into like not caring about having certain people's numbers in my phones because
Because we know we can get a hold of people.
yeah, you
different
can,
ways. Yeah.
you can Facebook Messenger them, like Instagram Messenger,
Yeah.
which is kind of sad. I kind of was proud of my Rolodex, my
Your phone number collection.
phone book.
Yeah.
Should we end on that somber note?
Yeah. Yeah. Those are my TikTok topics.
TikTopics.
My TikTopics.
We should probably get you on TikTok just like so I can send you things. Not that it would only be things that were sent to me from other people because I really don't even
You're just
browse.
going to triage them.
Is that how you use that word?
Sure.
Okay.
Intake and send it where it needs to go.
God, I think I've been using the word triage wrong for years.
How have you been using it?
Erin running the podcast. But yeah, that would be fun if I could send you the videos that other people send me. Triage them to you.
People don't really use triage in that way, but I'm applying it.
So you might be wrong.
I'm saying like it doesn't make sense like that. It's a weird way to use it.
Okay.
But people triage questions.
Is that true?
Yeah. Triage calls, patients, questions. You could triage videos, TikToks.
All right. Well, follow Erin on TikTok at triage.
I've never thought this much about this word and how we know those friends that's like their DJ group name. And I feel like that word versus like what that word in real life.
Yeah, why have I never even thought? We've used this word so many times.
But I guess it's because they're a trio. So it's like a play on.
Oh, for sure.
Yeah, but the word triage isn't about trios. So that's funny.
Apparently not.
All right.
All right, well, now we know.
Now we know.
I'm going to do my topic on triage next time.
Yeah, good idea. The band or the nursing process?
Nursing? Now I'm more confused about what this word means.
Like triage nurses, like, or when you go to the emergency room and then you go to triage so they can figure out where to send you.
Well, that's how I think I was using it, but I didn't realize it was like a sending them afterwards. I thought it was just like treating in some way.
Well, it's the process of like taking and figuring out what needs to happen and where that needs to go.
But not doing it.
Well, that might be one of your triage options.
Me doing it?
Yeah, like
Is it a true triage if you don't send it on?
like the pit episode. I don't want to spoil it, but the last few episodes, like the parking lot. I mean the driveway or the entrance
Okay.
people, the doctors out there.
Yeah.
They're triaging.
Okay. Yeah, I think I've been using it wrong. Not that I use it. I think I've just been
I'm just saying
understanding it
wrong
wrong.
every day. Okay.
All right. Well, now we know.
Now we know.
Good night.
Good night.
Love you.
Love you.
Have you ever transcended space and time?
Yes. No. Time, not space. No, I don't know what you're talking about.